Have you ever seen something you weren't supposed to? You know, like accidentally stumbling across your Christmas presents in the loft, or that time you walked in on your parents wrestling on their anniversary. Well, speaking of wrestling, WWE history is littered with examples of off-the-air moments you definitely weren't meant to see. Well, now, thanks to leaked footage, fans who were quick off the mark with their phones, and WWE's own production team, these moments are yours to enjoy. I'm Adam Wilborn from What Culture, and these are 11 off-air WWE moments you weren't supposed to see. Number 11. Legends have some fun. The Great One has been involved in some seriously funny post-show shenanigans over the years, and on the 1st of March 2004 episode of Raw, he gave good buddy Mick Foley a hand fending off Evolution. But that was just the start of his hijinks. When Raw's cameras faded to black, Rocky Foley and Stone Cold Steve Austin decided to play around with the live crowd for a while. Their nonsense included Mick dropping a people's elbow on Randy Orton, The Rock following suit on Ric Flair, check out Ric Flair's classic oversell, and the trio engaging in some off-the-cuff stand-up comedy. Number 10. Mark Henry struggles with the steel cage. Mark Henry is legit one of the strongest men around, aside from Simon Miller, of course, who could snap me like a twig. Anyway, if anyone could break a steel cage's door, it's Henry. In 2006, though, one WWE staff member decided to find out. They were supposed to rig the steel chain so it'd be easy for Henry to break. When they didn't, Mark was forced to do things the old-fashioned way, as Batista killed time mid-ring. In total, it took Henry around 10 bloody minutes to crack the links in the chain, and that was only after trying everything from kicking the door to bending the metal bars. To this day, some believe this clip was an internal leak from WWE staff who were simply impressed by Henry's feat of strength. I, for one, wouldn't want to be the guy, though, who forgot to gimmick the chain when Henry made it backstage. You're getting turned into a pretzel, mate. Number 9. Brock Lesnar randomly kisses Kurt Angle. Brock Lesnar and Kurt Angle have always enjoyed a, let's just say, ultra-competitive relationship. That's only natural for two world-class athletes who traded very real success in actual sports to become WWE megastars. Apparently, according to Brock, that was cause for celebration in 2003. Why else would he have planted a big soppy kiss on Angle's lips after a SmackDown taping? Oh, that's right. It's because he was ribbing the Olympian. I mean, that makes sense too, I guess. Fans in attendance must have been wondering if this was part of some elaborate ploy from WWE to turn Brock and Kurt into the next coming of Billy and Chuck. Editor, how would that look? Yeah, try on seeing that one. Number 8. Triple H's Stunner Party. I love me a good stunner party. Granted, my relatives thought it was slightly inappropriate for a funeral, but it's what my nana would have wanted. 24 hours before this stunner party happened, after the 18th of October 1999 Raw, Steve Austin and Triple H had engaged in a wild brawl at No Mercy. The atmosphere couldn't have been more different in Columbus, Ohio. The madness started when Austin taunted The Rock and hit his finisher on Trips, then turned his attention to Earl Hebner. Uh-oh. Before he could dish out the same medicine to the official, however, Austin noticed Triple H getting back to his feet and holding one of his beers. That is when the pair decided to have a little fun. Triple H soaked up stunner after stunner, and it's possible to see him holding back a smile at some points. His wonderful ragdoll sell, which puts The Rock to shame in parts, is also hilarious to watch. Just when the fans thought Austin was finished sinking beers and throwing Triple H around, he came back for some more too. Timeless. Number 7. Punkaroonie. No, this isn't a fever dream that Vince McMahon once had. This actually happened. Following the 9th of December 2013 Raw, CM Punk was called out by Booker T to do a spinaroonie in his birthday suit. Thankfully, Booker was only half right. Punk came out to be greeted by John Cena, Stephanie McMahon, Daniel Bryan, and Titus O'Neil. Get in. And they all wanted to see him dance. Keep in mind, by the way, this was around 1 month before Punk walked out on WWE shortly after the 2014 Royal Rumble. 1 month before telling Vince to shove it He was spinning on his arse, basically. And there's no sign of any friction in this video. I mean, between the wrestlers, not his arse. Moving on. Punk, playing along with Booker's nonsense, strips down to his underwear and performs the worst spinaroonie attempt known to man. Ah, come on. We've all tried it. Number 6. The Undertaker catches fire. During The Undertaker's legendarily slow plod to the ring, "Get on with it, dead man!" At the 2010 Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, he was engulfed in flames. The pyrotechnics problem must have been triggered by a production worker backstage. I mean, I assume there wasn't just a big red button that said "set fire to wrestler" on it at least. It left Taker's flesh burning as he stood in one of the chamber pods, and referees around ringside had to improvise by dousing the char-grilled icon with bottles of water. And then the hard bastard just carried on. Fans watching the show must have wondered why the cameras cut away from such a trademark entrance to show others involved in the match who were already in the ring. It wasn't until afterwards, when fan camera phone footage surfaced, that the potentially fatal incident was revealed. Number 5. Triple H and The Rock rehearse Judgment Day 2000. At Judgment Day 2000, The Rock and Triple H contested a heated and unforgettable 60-minute Iron Man match. You know, the one where Johnny Two Wheels shows up at the end. What you may not know is that there's footage floating around in the darker corners of the internet, not the places Jules goes, of the 2 hours earlier in the day going over the spots they'd use in the match. It's pretty amazing to see 2 of WWE's biggest stars working out the kinks of their main event in an empty arena. I can certainly think of a few nowadays who should probably do a little bit more. If only there was some footage of other epics being pieced together the same way. Hardcore fans love this sort of stuff, and by that, I mean me. Number 4. Vince McMahon loves birthday cake. If you've ever wanted to see Triple H and Vince McMahon writhe around in piles of birthday cake, then rejoice! Rejoice and then maybe take a long hard look in the mirror, eh? In 2009, Trips was celebrating his birthday in Washington's Verizon Center when he was serenaded to the ring by his father-in-law. And it is, what culture karaoke levels of awful. Then, for his big birthday surprise, I suppose, half the roster lobs cake at Triple H before he grabs hold of Vince and rolls around in icing for a good few minutes until it all gets a bit awkward and Batista comes out to chuck some more birthday sponge about. All fun and games, yes, but imagine the poor sods who had to clean that up. Number 3. Stone Cold and Hulk Hogan briefly go at it. Steve Austin and Hulk Hogan never had that one-on-one dream match that would have done monster business on pay-per-view. It's one of the big wrestling what-ifs, alongside what if the Montreal Screwjob never happened? What if Sting joined WWE earlier? And what if Titus never fell over at the Greatest Royal Rumble? In 2002, after Raw went off the air, Austin ran in to smash Hulk with a sudden stunner. There's something mind-blowing about this for fans of a certain age. Hogan was in his old red and yellow gear, meaning this was one of the few or maybe only times that classic Hulkamania and Stone Cold Steve Austin got physical. Cue them fighting at the next bloody Saudi Arabia show, probably. Number 2. John Cena and Batista become DX members. Besides Shawn Michaels, Triple H, and Chyna, who are some of your favourite D-Generation X members? Road Dogg? Billy Gunn? X-Pac? Seth Rollins? Well, how about John Cena and Batista? Minutes after Batista beat Randy Orton in the main event of the 14th of September 2009 episode of Monday Night Raw, DX and Cena ran out to save him from an attack at the hands of Legacy. They then delighted, or horrified depending on your point of view, the live audience by mocking that they had joined forces with the Animal as a new, improved bunch of degenerates. Seeing Cena perform the trademark crotch chop with a goofy grin on his face is kind of weird, isn't it? This was right at the peak of his run as a child-friendly cartoon, so it must have come as a shock for parents to see their kid's hero encouraging the world to, well, suck it. Number 1. The Rock calls CM Punk. Capping things off, we have The Rock, no doubt causing a meltdown backstage by phoning WWE outcast CM Punk from the middle of the ring after the 20th of February 2017 episode of Monday Night Raw went off the air. The fans must have thought that Rocky was messing with them when he said he'd give Punk a call for them and see what he was up to. When he got through to Punk's voicemail, The Rock led the crowd in supportive chants for Punk. Behind the scenes, Vince McMahon and Triple H must have been fuming. Here's what we think was going on at Gorilla. There was next to nothing they could do about it, though. The Rock has become untouchable, and the Hollywood leading man is someone WWE would rather keep on side. Punk later said he'd been walking his dog and didn't have his phone on him. Course you didn't, Punk. Course you didn't. And that's our list. Did we miss any out? Let us know in the comments section below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And make sure you subscribe to What Culture Wrestling on either iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from for daily wrestling podcasts. Thanks for watching. I've been Adam from What Culture, and I'll see you soon.